What's up, everybody? It's Chris, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Welcome to the Blue Root Pod. Huge show for you again today. The Painted Lines and Processed Potables held an NBA draft party at Victory Brewing Company in Kennett Square. I'm going to give you the sights and the sounds of everything that went down. We also had 3 special guests that joined us at Victory. Our first guest was Rich O'Malley. Rich wrote the book One Lucky Fan. He was the executive editor of New York Daily News. One Lucky Fan can be found on Amazon or Barnes & Noble stores near you. The book is about Rich's lifelong dream of seeing a home game for every franchise in American sports. Highly recommend you go pick it up. Our second guest was Paul Green of the Paul Green Rock Academy. Most of you know him as the inspiration behind School of Rock. Paul Green is a huge Philly sports fan, but he also runs a music school for young musicians and adults. Paul Green students, adult students, are holding a concert this weekend at Fergie's in Center City. The show is on Saturday at 10 and this Sunday at 6. I'll be in attendance during the show and can't wait to see our own Jason Blevins perform. You can find more information on the Paul Green Rock Academy on their website, www.paulgreenrock.com. Our last guest was NBA draft hopeful and Chester native Mahir Johnson. Mahir is a 6'2" guard who was a member of a recent Sixers draft workout when he went up against other NBA draft prospects such as Jordan Poole from Michigan and Kyle Alexander from Tennessee. Mahir is hoping to get a spot with the Delaware Bluecoats next season. Make sure you give Mahir a follow on Twitter at Mahir Johnson 21. As always, if you guys like what you see, make sure you hit like and subscribe below. Thanks for watching, guys. Go Sixers, baby. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Painted Lines. We are at Victory Brewing Company in Kennett Square. The draft just got started. We're podcasting. We got Paul Green. We got Rich O'Malley. What's up? We got Jack. You can find Jack on Twitter at Jack Connell. And we got Harrison. You can find Harrison on Twitter at Harrison E. Grimm. What are the Sixers going to do with the number 24th pick? Jack, go.
I say Matisse Thybulle till the day I die out of Washington.
I'm going to make a prediction that's going to be Cameron Johnson out of UNC.
Cameron Johnson. A lot of trade rumors going on right now. The draft is just getting started. Will the Sixers trade up or down or stay the same? What do you think?
I think they'll stay the same, maybe add a late first.
I think that they'll stay at 24 and trade their 2 second-rounders up and get another first-rounder.
We got more guests. We got Eric Emart.
Hello.
We got Dan, at Dan Says That, and Process Potables on Twitter. And we got the Adam. You can find him at Adam on Twitter.
He's the only one.
Who are the Sixers going to take at 24? Eric, lead us off.
I'm thinking it's Matisse Thybulle. They need somebody who can contribute immediately. I like defense. I like to think the Sixers do what I like to do. That's why I'm going with Matisse Thybulle.
Dan?
I also think it's Matisse Thybulle. I really want Cam Johnson. I think he might fall into the 30s where they can get him. My wish is that we package picks, move to 23 where Memphis is, Thybulle Johnson, 23-24, wrap it up, NBA Finals.
So you think we're going to move up and down. What about you?
I hope they do. I don't think they do.
I don't think they should do it unless they can get someone who can contribute immediately, and that player's probably not in the draft.
I just told you who it was. I just
told
told you who it was.
Thank you so much to Victory for having us, obviously. I hope everybody is drinking, eating, make sure that you take care of your bartenders. Kind of feel like doing the cover band thing all over again.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you tip your servers.
Always tip your servers.
Everything. I'm going to say that so many times. I thought I was adding this again. I guess like top 10, bottom 10,
right?
Something like that.
I would say, I remember going to the Vet. The Vet is actually one of the last baseball stadiums I got because it was just so close. And I'm like, I'll get there next weekend. I'll get there next weekend. 10 years go by, and I'm like, oh, damn it, I haven't gotten the Vet yet. So I finally got the Vet, and it was an experience. That whole era of stadium is just long gone, and now in some ways you kind of miss it, because you have this new generation of cookie cutter stadiums that all kind of look alike in certain ways. So, we thought they were crap back then, and now we're like, oh, how nostalgic, we're so...
Now we miss how intimidating they were.
Right, they gave you this sort of advantage. But the Eagle Stadium is sort of in my middle ground in the book. It's neither must-see to me or crap. It's a very nice stadium. I love that they have the solar panels and it's energy efficient, and I love that it's accessible by public transportation, which is a big thing for me. All of Philly arenas and stadiums are with your little area there with all the stadiums. I quite like that. Citizens Bank Ballpark is in my top 10. I love that place. I think it has the best food and drink. We're in a brewery. It's appropriate to talk about that in baseball.
Pretty sure you can get some Victory beers there.
You can get a lot of local craft beers, which is a big thing for me when I go to baseball games.
I'm a fan of the summer love at Citizens Bank. It's a real nice aesthetic.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love Flying Fish in Jersey, so that's one of my favorites.
That's my name
there. Yeah. And then Wells Fargo. I call it Wells Fargo City, not Wells Fargo Arena, because it's just so huge. And it was sort of built around the same time as a lot of those other very similar places. So again, sort of middle ground on that one for me. I have, I guess, one pet peeve and one thing that I kind of enjoy. It's similar to what you're saying. I found myself seeing the Toronto Maple Leafs a lot while I was on the road, and I really found their fans annoying. They travel and
Wait, Canadians you found annoying of all people? I thought they would be the polite ones.
Maybe they should be, but they've been bad for so long, and
True.
I think they're still like this great franchise, and they
Original
still-
six.
Yeah, like yes, you have many championships. You're in the top 10 of all sports for championships, but you haven't won a thing in 50 years. Like, just relax. You go into these other buildings in Canada and make fun of all these other fans for being like from podunk towns and you're from the great Toronto. Relax. Everyone just relax. I did not really care for that very much. On the other hand, I, as a Devils fan, like to give it to my own team. And so I appreciated the fans in Vancouver for kind of giving it to their own team instead of the other team being like, come on guys, pick it up, let's do this. I appreciate it.
I got the Flip Flop Nation flight in front of me. We have the Summer Love, which Eric aforementioned is a great Citizens Bank Park drink for Phillies in the summer.
It's a real particular mood being at a baseball game drinking Summer Love.
Twisted Monkey, one of my favorite sours. The No Brainer, the Golden Monkey, the Belgian IPA, and of course, the beer we've talked a lot about tonight, the Liberty Bell Ringer Double Dry Hopped Double IPA. So,
I'm drinking that right now.
we're gonna have a good time tonight.
It's pretty good.
This is episode 26 of Process Potables, titled Ring the Bell Brother. Again, we are live from Victory Brewing. Thank you so much to Victory for having us. And right now, me and Eric Martirano, who was on the first segment with me, we are joined by the famous Paul Green. Everybody give Paul Green a round of applause. Paul, thank you so much for joining us. What's going on?
It's really nice to be here. Did you guys hear about Dario Saric?
We are actually about to find out, so we want to throw it over to our correspondent keeping us up to date on all the trades and news as they happen as we lead up to the draft event. Hot Take Harry. Harry, introduce yourself to everybody. If you want to shout out your Twitter or whatever, and then let us know what's going on, what we've missed so far.
Yes, what's going on, everyone? My name's Harrison Grimm, also known as Hot Take Harry. You can find me on Twitter at Harrison E. Grimm. We got a few trades to announce. First off, Atlanta has traded up to number 4, involving the 8th, 17th, and 35th picks in the draft. Solomon Hill is also included in the deal as a salary dump. And we got a process legend on the move. Minnesota has traded number 11 in Dario Saric to Phoenix for number 6.
Dario.
I would check the box score every morning to see how many minutes, but I was always disappointed. So it's just,
This is setting up Dario and TJ being
Absolutely.
reunited
I-
in Phoenix, 1,000%.
I would bet a lot on TJ McConnell becoming a Phoenix Sun this offseason. I just think the match makes sense.
What was your contract prediction? I
That
think
was
you nailed it.
$20 million for 3 years. That's what I
You
think.
can
That makes
take, you can
sense.
take that to the bank.
You can
Insiders
take it.
tell
TJ will
us.
certainly take it to the bank. Someone's going to pay him. He's earned it. I just don't know if it's going to be the Sixers in the offseason. But yeah, well, I don't know if we have room with all the running back. But
are we team running back up here on the diet?
I've gone back and forth, and I think I'm on the same page as Dan. Dan, I don't know if you might have gone back and forth since your last article.
Very much like the flight that I have, I flip-flopped a lot on this. And that was actually going to be my first question to you, Paul, was where are you as far as team running back?
Team
is
running back.
concerned? Team running back.
I just want some continuity. I'm old-fashioned. I started to get to love this team, and I I'm done with the changes, and I like them, and I see how they fit, and I understand it's a 5-year commitment, but
Yeah.
If not, we're going to end up signing Condavious Caldwell-Pope. That's just
I was kind of on
Alan
the fence.
Crabb.
I was on the fence with running back, and then I read all those quotes that the Raptors had, like during the finals, about how hard the Sixers series was.
Yes.
And I'm like, yeah, we need to see more of this team together. They're just starting to figure each other out. They just got to know each other, played 10 games together, had a couple runs in the playoffs, and yeah, let's run. I'm on the running back team.
And that includes TJ, and I think, no offense to TJ, but if nothing else, my first podcast with Jason, I talked about this. I thought the biggest mistake we made last year was letting Justin Anderson go. Because the 12th man on the team is essential. And TJ, even as the third string point guard, designated high fiver.
Oh yeah.
Like the whole the bench last year was pretty sour for the first half, with a bunch of people who thought they should be playing. And just have a guy like TJ who can give you 26 minutes one night and just high fives the next, it's kind of invaluable.
Yeah,
And
knowing your role is so important.
And once we're capped out anyway, his contract won't affect our cap. And if Josh Harris says he's going to spend the money, spend the money. He just did 2 years. He's like, I wouldn't trade him for any player in the league right now. He's so the player I traded for, I went to that. Did you guys go to the last year? Not the one that got rained out, but the one the year before. Didn't know much about him. Walks out on the court, but that guy's too cool for school, and maybe he is. He's unravelable. He's a second-year player, so the game gets a little bit for him, but he's on a trajectory the likes of which I haven't seen.
He has all the hard stuff down. Right?
Yeah.
He's an incredible defender. He sees the floor better than almost anybody. Great passer. Gets the baseline. Has great post-up moves. He's developed those this year. Everyone wants to point at the shooting. I'll just take free throws at this point. If you can just get to the bucket guy and shoot 70% from the line, let's just do that. Because it's funny, we all see some level of LeBron and Ben Simmons. My biggest criticism of LeBron these last few years, especially in the finals, is hey man, you just get a bucket at a time, you still get one. Ben Simmons is able to get to the rim, get fouled, and make most of those foul shots. Call it a day, man. That's the team.
But he wasn't first.
Yeah, and he's young.
Is LeBron the best player ever?
Is LeBron the best player ever? I think he punted on that this year. This past year, I don't think he might have made a contest, but this past year, I don't know. I think it's gonna still be Jordan for a while. You know what's funny though? Kawhi Leonard. I've done a full 180 on him. At this moment, he's 2 finals MVPs. He's 28 years old. There's a path for him. It's a hard path. But there's a path for him to pass Jordan.
Knowing what we know now, would you have traded Ben Simmons for 1 year?
Knowing what you know now, I think I would. A young player versus a guy who's, everything's going to work out. But at that time, it was such a big risk. And the unsung thing, actually, is David Green coming over too, And that really helped the Raptors out. And that was true of their 7-man rotation, including, the big lead.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for being here at Victory Brewing for Process Potables and the Painted Lines live NBA Draft Watch Party. This is episode 26 of Process Potables, titled Ring the Bell, Brother. I am joined now by Jack and NBA hopeful Mahir Johnson. Everybody give a round of applause for Mahir. Mahir is local to the area. He worked out for the Sixers. We are very excited to have him. Before we get into that, we do have another trade update from Hot Take Harry. We're going to throw it over to him.
That's correct. We got a trade again between the Suns and Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are receiving TJ Warren and the 32nd pick in today's draft. The Suns are receiving cash considerations.
That easy. We need to get up to 23. It's got to happen. I just talked about it. We need to make it happen, but we will get to that. Mahir, how you doing tonight? We're so happy to have you.
I'm doing, man. Appreciate you for having me. Just staying calm. Putting everything in God's hand. I did everything I can do up until this point, so I'm just controlling what I can control.
Absolutely, it's all you can do. For people that are not familiar with Mahir, he is from Goldie Beacom in Wilmington, Delaware, Division II school, from Chester High School, local to the area, 2 seasons at Delaware State, and then on to Goldie Beacom. He averaged 14 points a game in his senior year at Goldie Beacom, shot 48% from the field and 33.3% from 3, and 85% from the free throw line. Pretty impressive stats, 6'2" guard. Mahir, my first question for you is basically, if you can give us, obviously none of us really have a great idea, from the end of your college season to now, what has your experience been as far as team workouts? We know you worked out with the Sixers, things you do individually, like the interview process that you go through as a prospect, things like that. Can you just give us a broad perspective on what that's like?
Well, once my season was over, I took a week off, week and a half off. I just got in the gym, just got to work. I worked on my weaknesses. I worked on things that I can get better at for the next level. I just been working hard. That's all I've been doing. That's getting 2-3 sessions in a day, and just controlling what I can control. Just putting the work in.
So as somebody who's local to the area, this is obviously a very heavy Sixers influenced area. A lot of us are Sixers fans. It's a Sixers podcast, cheap plug. What does it mean to get the opportunity to actually go to the Sixers facility and work out for the team?
It's just a blessing just to get that opportunity, because not too many people are able to, work out in a pre-draft workout. So I just took in the experience, took it all in, and I didn't take it for granted. I went in there and just gave it my all. I showed I can do a little bit of everything: score, pass, rebound, play defense. So just to get that opportunity was just a blessing. I thank God every day for that.
I scored on the wrong net in middle school, so there's definitely a giant separation there.
Now, I know you worked out with some prospects like Jordan Poole from Michigan, some pretty legit prospects. Now, how is that different from when you're playing Division II, that level of play style and everything?
To be honest, it wasn't really too different to me, but I say the only difference is the size. But other than that, if you can play, you can play. It doesn't really matter what level you're on. So it wasn't really too different.
At the workouts, especially the one with the Sixers, what are the things that they had you do? What were they looking for from you specifically? Was it more of a scrimmage environment, or were you working in individual drills where they were looking for you to perform certain aspects of the game?
When we first got there, we had breakfast. They gave us breakfast, and then we did our measurements. We did a vertical leap. They tested our arm length. They did our height, weight, stuff like that, and then we had warmed up, and then we split up two players to each court, and we did shooting drills. Every shot was contested, so that was different and pretty challenging, but I was able to get adjusted to it once I had got the hang of it. And then we had played 3-on-3 after that. That was really it.
So when you're talking about doing a contested shooting drill, again, guy who shoots in an open gym on a Saturday morning, that would be something very hard to adjust with. Do you have to shift your state of mind from a practice warm-up mode to a game mentality when you're doing a warm-up like that in a situation like this? Oh yeah, definitely. Just getting a lot of game reps in. Everything was intense. It wasn't nothing I haven't seen before, but the intensity level was definitely great. Overall, it was a great workout. Got some good work in. So it was a great experience though.
Did they have the other guy contesting? Were you contesting for the other guy, or did you have coaches working with you? Or?
Yeah, they had the coaches contesting. They had about 10 player development guys in there. They were just doing different stuff with us.
So you said once your season ended, you were in the gym 2-3 times a day. You were working on some areas of improvement. What would you if you had to scout yourself? What are your strengths, and what are the things that you had to spend some time working on leading up to this entire process of the draft?
I definitely improved a lot on my range, expanding my range so it could open up the floor for me. Really just tightening everything up, working on my ball handling, finishing, getting stronger in the weight room, getting quicker, more athletic. But as far as other than that, I just want to work on becoming a better point guard. Being able to play make better for my teammates, making my teammates better.
You mentioned the weight room. I don't know if you've ever heard this. I feel like this is something that's thrown around a lot, and I don't know if you can speak to this, but I feel like a lot of college prospects, I always hear, once they get in an NBA weight room, I can really see them doing something. Is there that big a difference between what you're able to do, like weight training and workout wise, when you're in college as opposed to what, like, your understanding of what, like, a professional NBA, like, weight training and workout program would be?
Well, ever since I was in high school, like when I was in like 10th grade, I was always doing like strength stuff, like cleans, hang cleans, deadlifts. So I'm kind of already like used to those type of things. But at the next level, though, it may be something that I haven't seen before. But other than that, I'm comfortable in the weight room. I love to lift and get stronger. So.
Hey guys, before our next segment, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Victory Brewing Company for allowing the Painted Lines and Processed Potables to come to their site and host our NBA draft party. It was a blast. Our next segment here is an exclusive audio of Matisse Thybulle's introductory press conference with the Philadelphia 76ers. Hope you guys enjoy.
How you doing?
Hey Matisse, it's Zach Nair, 76ers PR staff. Welcome. So I'm going to hand it over to the media contingent here. Guys, fire away.
Okay.
Matisse, what are your thoughts on joining the team? What do you know about the team?
I don't know much. They're a talented group with great coaching, and my thoughts are I'm just really, really excited and grateful to be a part of it.
You were a good three-point shooter earlier in your career. Last year, your three-point shooting was way down. Was there a reason for that?
Yeah, with teams you got to sacrifice, and I think for my team I had to sacrifice a little bit on the scoring end in order for us to be successful, to make all the parts work together. And I mean, I think it showed that it worked because we won a good amount of games, and yeah, so I mean that's what I had to say for that. Just taking a step back.
When did you know the Sixers were interested in you? When did the light kind of go on?
They showed interest really, really early in the draft process, and they continue to show interest. And I mean, my family and my agents and I were all really excited about that because of how talented of a team and how well run franchise they are. So it's continued to go, and we trusted them and put our faith in them, and here we are.
Matisse, obviously a lot of the reason that you were drafted is because of your defensive skills, but there's been some concern from switching over to the zone that you played in Washington. What are your thoughts on having your defense translate to the NBA?
I mean, if you look back, I think I still led the Pac-12 in steals when I was playing under Coach Romar, and we were playing man and we switched everything. So I can do it in all facets, and for me, it's just a matter of figuring it out, and I'm not worried that I won't be able to because I've played man my whole life, except for 2 years.
Matisse, you didn't work out for too many teams, and there were rumors that some teams had kind of guaranteed you a spot. Can you say was that any truth to that?
Yeah, I actually didn't work out for anyone. Like I said before, Philly showed interest early, and we just trusted them and decided that we were going to put our faith in them and just kind of shut things down and see what happened on draft night. And they stayed true to their word, and yeah, the rest is history.
Matisse, what kind of impact do you think you can make as a rookie? Do you expect to contribute immediately?
Yeah, I definitely plan on coming in and contributing, and I don't see why not, because defense translates, and for me, defense is just effort, and I can bring effort day in and day out, and three-point shooting is something that comes naturally to me, and I think that'll be a big asset with all the talented scorers that we have, just to surround them with shooters. So I don't think there'll be a problem with me stepping in and contributing.
I know that it's probably early to ask this, but have you given any consideration to playing in Summer League, or has that been a conversation at all yet?
No, I haven't had a conversation about it.
Do you also do you find it kind of weird that 2 years ago the Sixers traded up to get one of your teammates at Washington?
Do I find it kind of weird?
Yeah,
it's a interesting coincidence, and my mom used to say there's no such thing as a coincidence, so I figured it was meant to happen.
What do you think? Could you explain us a little bit more, like what you think has made you successful defensively, and how far back, have you considered that a strength of your game?
For me, the way I've always looked at defense is just effort, and I think that I was blessed with some God-given ability and just my athleticism and size, and then just putting that to good use. And from a young age, my dad instilled in me that defense was a big part of the game and was going to be a big part of my success, and I just kind of stuck with it, and I think it worked pretty well.
Tease, can you tell us about kind of the emotions and like the roller coaster and you're going to talk to a lot of people, just everything that you're feeling tonight?
I don't think it's really set in that, I don't think any of it's really set in yet. I think once I get a chance to sit with my family and just kind of recap the night, it will start to settle in, but right now it's just like, I'm trying to convince myself I'm not dreaming.
What's the number one thing you plan on working on between now and summer camp or training camp?
That's tough. I feel like aside from everything, just offensively, just trying to be as much of a threat as possible in all aspects: playmaking, scoring, passing. Just trying to continue to grow in that aspect.
Thank you, Matisse. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
How do you, I mean, you can work on your shot in the gym, you can work on your handle, but like how do you prepare for guarding NBA?
I mean, I don't think you really know how to do it until you do it. So, I mean, I've worked as hard as I have to get here, and I only assume I have to work harder to keep moving forward, so I'll figure it out once I get there.
Who was your toughest matchup in college? Is there a guy that sticks out?
That's tough. I mean, I say some of the hardest ones are like practice battles. So like, as you guys know, like Markelle, and then like DeJounte Murray, Andrew Andrews, those guys are tough.
Just to kind of piggyback off that question, you're not playing a division where, you know, you're going to have the defending champs in here. They could be bringing back Kawhi Leonard. He's a guy on the perimeter. You have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, guys like that. How do you kind of prepare to take on those assignments if you were to stick on a guy like that?
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm fresh to the NBA, so I don't know really how they operate. But I mean, in the past, just study the scout, know their tendencies, and then do whatever comes naturally.
Has there been any conversation about what number you're going to use for the ideal?
Where's retired?
Exactly.
I think 22 will probably let it go.
Is there a reason for that?
2 + 2 = 4.
So last year, Landry Shamet came in here at a similar sort of draft slot, attached himself to J.J. Redick. They had similar skill sets, so you basically learned from him. Who's the player on this team you think you're going to sort of follow and try to learn from?
Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know if I have one single player that I'd want to follow and learn from. I feel like learning as much as I can from everyone would like serve me the most, but we'll see. We can revisit this question once I'm here for a little bit and I met the guys.
You've mentioned that in your last year at Washington, you kind of took a back seat offensively to focus more defense, help for the better of the team.
Yeah.
Do you think that's prepared you to be in a role with the Sixers where you have star players like Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons?
Yeah, and I mean, I think you said it yourself. Knowing your role is a huge thing in college and in the league, and I think that just preparing myself in college to know my role and be the best I can be at that role is going to set me up well to be here.
Do you have a feeling for like what the next 48 hours, a couple of weeks in your life is going to be like? Are you finding a place to live?
We're going minute by minute at this point.
I know you get asked this a lot. You played man earlier, with Washington. What's the difference between playing zone and
for me, zone was cool because I got to chase the ball around a little bit, so I wasn't stuck on a man. So like, you can be guarding someone who's be sitting in the corner the whole game, and you don't really get to impact the game defensively as much. But in the zone, I was able to kind of make more plays on the ball because I wasn't restricted to one person. But with that being said, I played man my whole life, except for these past 2 years, so I'm used to it, and I still know how to be effective in that.
Do you think it's overblown? The transition from the two of them, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the same principles. You got to keep your guy in front, don't let him get off an easy shot, and you still got to rebound. And like I said, the only difference for me was like, I just didn't have to stay with the same man. I got to go chase the ball now.
You mentioned that you decided to play with Kennett Joel. Are you familiar with the young guys?
No, I don't know any of these guys personally. So it'll be, it's gonna be a whole lot of meeting and faces, getting to know people.
What's your comfort zone as far as shooting the three ball? Like, what spots on the floor? you're most comfortable from?
I mean, everyone knows the corner three is the easiest shot. So, I love the corner three, but anywhere on the three-point line, I say I'm pretty comfortable.
Prepared to come in and help right away. I mean, for rookies, sometimes this jump is tough. Did you hear like that they want you to come in and play right away?
That was a large part of why I stayed in college, so that I could come in and be prepared. So, yeah, I feel like I'm prepared because it was a conscious decision in staying for my 4th year, was trying to be as experienced and as ready as possible.
I don't remember if this came up last time, but you planning on playing summer league this year?
We haven't discussed it yet.
Throughout the draft process, you talked a bit before about contributing to the community or like being able to give back and stuff. So what does that look like now that you're actually in the position?
That's a great question. I mean, I'm freshly in this position, and I don't know the city well.
Make all the decisions right now.
Yeah, I don't know the city well, but hopefully just from being here and learning what's needed, I can go from there.
How'd you take up the time?
Last one, guys?
My best friends, Matt and Joe, they actually work now for the Seahawks in a college in Seattle, and so I would hang out with them when they do it, and I was like, this is kind of fun, and so I got curious. I'm really curious, so I got curious, and then I wanted to start doing it, so I got my own camera, and then I just followed in their footsteps.
Thanks, Tease.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
What's up, guys? It is Chris again, and with us we have Jason Blevins, who is fresh off the introductory press conference with Matisse Thybulle. What's up, Jason?
Wait, am I fresh? Yeah, I'm pretty fresh. I got a shower this morning. Got some sleep.
Awesome.
Yeah, just got finished talking with Matisse, and really impressive young man. So I don't even know how old he is. I guess 21, 22. But yeah, really, really very good first impression.
You could tell. I loved how like his eyes were just so wide walking into that press conference. He made one of my favorite comments was, "I'm just happy to have a locker." That was just memorable to me because I just love, kind of living through these guys. Obviously, I'm a huge fan. So you could tell that he was very mature for his age. And I love seeing his excitement. It was definitely like out of 10. Did you have any takeaways from the press conference?
I see why he and Elton were enamored with each other. I understand it. I think that the price to move up, I think we are so jaded by the whole playing the spreadsheet valuation, what's a second round pick worth, and playing all the margins from the process here, that we've started to forget that when you know it's your guy, you just go get your guy. It doesn't matter what it costs. Like the odds of a second round pick being something worth missing out on your guy is just not high enough to let that stop you. And it just looks like this is a team that really understood how they could use Matisse, and he understands how he can help a team. And when if you have faith in the organization to be able to just find a role and put a guy in a role to be successful, then I don't think there is a price that's too high for that.
It was so interesting because, obviously, backcourt defense is one of the biggest weaknesses with the Sixers all last season. And I remember, during the All-Star break, we were talking about, is there any player that you would want to bring on the Sixers? And it was Robert Covington. Elton Brand seemed to be all about Matisse Thybulle's toughness. He called him a 3-and-D prospect several times. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. I feel like they're going to try and model his game in that Robert Covington model. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think defensively they are. I just asked him, and I sent you the audio, so you'll have it, and you'll probably play it after this. But I asked him specifically about where he likes to shoot the ball from three, and he talked about the corners. So Covington was obviously above the break, 3-point shooter. But defensively, I think it feels like they're going to have similar responsibilities. So one of the things they missed most, I think, about Covington leaving was they didn't have that V-back option to be a secondary rim protector when Embiid was off the floor, when Embiid would come out and challenge. They didn't have a second person to come back behind him and clean up things. I think Thibault brings a lot in the area of shot blocking that Covington gave. We're not talking about a center. We're talking about like a secondary cleanup guy. If they get beyond your center, I don't know. He on paper and from a personality standpoint, like he checks all the boxes.
Yeah, as we've talked about him many times on the Blue Root page, he was my guy for months. I'm happy that
That's your guy.
I
So did Paul Green.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul Green said he was his guy.
And I think a good chunk of Sixers fans wanted Thibault. I think that was across the board. And let's go back a little bit, man. What was it like being in Camden for the draft? What was kind of your main takeaways?
That's an interesting question because it seems like probably a bigger deal than it was because you're around the same people for an 82 game season and then like 2 full rounds of the playoffs. It's all the same people. It's in a building you're at all the time, and so the biggest difference was we're all sitting watching multiple tabs of Twitter for the Woj and Shams bombs, and we've got the TVs on just like everybody else, but we're all sitting together. Instead of watching a basketball game, we're now watching and researching and doing all of the drafts. So it's not as unlike what everyone else does at home as you might think. It's just you're around other people that are maybe a pick and a half ahead of where the TV is. It's not as dramatic a difference, I think, as people might imagine. We didn't have like super inside information.
Any word on summer or getting undrafted guys for the summer league? Any talk about that in Camden right now?
Oh, as soon as the cameras went off on the Thibault intro press conference, I got up, walked to the back of the room, talked to Connor Johnson and Matt Lilly, and I said, "You need to go get me some guys. I need to cover some guys in Delaware." And then so they were like, "We're gonna try," and they went into the back, and then Dave Scholler was out just before I came downstairs here for this, and I said, "Dave, you got to get me some guys to cover in Delaware. I need some guys." So they have nothing to announce yet. I know if they would ask me for a list, I know who I'd like to cover next year. I'm glad there's a couple of guys that I won't have to cover, like Lou Dort. I dreaded the idea of having to cover him in Delaware, so I'm glad that's not going to happen. I'd like, you and I are the same ilk. We love to see rim protection. So I want to see big men. They're going to be very interesting as shot blockers. I want to see that in Delaware. I want to see guys that are high-level point guards and create for other people. I want to see that kind of stuff. So, but I haven't heard any specific names. I know they're working on it right now.
I think the general consensus of this draft for the Sixers was great first round. Everyone's kind of on board with Matisse. And then on the other side, the second round, it's kind of a tale of 2 rounds, right? So everyone's kind of upset that they traded out. They're upset that they gave Boston that 33 pick to get Carson Edwards. They missed out on him. A lot of Sixers fans liked him. Are we overreacting to the second round here? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, we're overreacting because they only have so many roster spots. It feels like the takeaway I would say is, think about it this way. They feel like their roster is going to be so packed with impact veterans that they're not going to have roster space for second round flyers, right? So to take chances on guys. Somebody that should feel really good about their position right now is Haywood Highsmith because, they didn't see a guy that they felt like was worth knocking him off of a 2-way contract in order to make space for one of these guys in the second round. They didn't feel like there was anyone in that second round that was worth knocking a James Ennis off if they wanted to bring him back, or maybe compromising their ability to bring back Mike Scott. That's the takeaway. I think that we're hung up on this, and I tweeted it last night. at like 2 a.m. when I got home because I'm driving home thinking about it. We're so caught up in the process year evaluation and the NFL draft chart trade. Remember, there's that trade chart for draft picks in the NFL.
Yeah.
We get so caught up in that math side of it. We're trying to extract every little bit of value, but the fact is, it's not 5 years ago. We don't have the amount of space on the roster to be flexible like that. So should they have maybe tried to move those picks earlier? Maybe, but I don't know that they knew exactly what they would have to load up to get their guy, and it cost them the best of those second-round picks. But I think once they did that, they had no value for the rest of them. I think they were only keeping the rest of those picks around just in case they needed more bullets in the chamber to move up further. So I don't think they're disappointed with how this went. I don't think they really expected to come out of here with more than 1 or 2 players.
I agree. And I think it's a little unfair to Elton. This draft was wild. You had Cam Johnson let go like 11 or something. You had Bobo fall. You had Shuma go like.
How about that reaction by Kobe White when he found out Cam Johnson? That is the exact reaction everyone here in Camden had.
Brandon Clark fell to like 20. Like there was a lot of like unpredictability with this draft, and everyone knew that coming in. So I don't fault Elton Brand for getting his guy. I don't. So I really see Matisse as a guy that can make a huge impact with his defensive versatility, just being incredible in transition with Ben Simmons, and hopefully that shot translates. And I think it will. I mean, it's
yeah. Think about it. You're interviewing people for a position in your company, right? And how much do you factor in their virtuosity or their insane hard skills, and how much do you factor in like, is this a person I can see coming into the office every day, being a contributor to our organization consistently, and being around for a very long time. And this kid shut his whole draft workout process down for this team. This team made him a promise. They carried through on the promise. That's good. That may pay dividends for his second contract, right? I mean, this feels like a long-term relationship that's about to build.
I agree. Any last takeaways from the draft as we get ready for Summer League? And
I'm so glad I don't have to cover Lou Dort. I wish I could have covered Carson Edwards, though, to be honest. I was looking forward to seeing what that dynamo can do, because I don't think he's as short. I've been right up next to him, and I've seen him right next to someone who's 6'1". He's not as small as people said, and he's built like a dynamo. So, yeah, I wish I could have seen him. Zion completely convinced me he's going to be a major star. Like incredible. Everything about he's got the whole package. I wasn't convinced heading in, but now I am convinced. There's a couple of guys I worry about that I think they could really be busts. And we'll find out. I'm as wrong as I am right. John Isaac is still going to be a really good player, by the way.
Still talking about Isaac. Okay.
I'll never stop talking about it. De'Aaron Fox and John Isaac are my two probably most sure. I've never been more sure of anything, and I still believe so. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for coming on, Jason.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right.
Good job at Victory last night. Everyone said they had a blast. You guys nailed it. Like, we pulled it together in about 2 weeks or so, and just an outstanding effort. We really showed what this organization can do. I'm proud to have everyone involved at the Painted Lions. I think we are a really well-balanced organization. We tick a lot of the boxes. We complement each other. Thank you again to Rich O'Malley, to my buddy Paul, and to Mahir Johnson for coming out. That was awesome. I talked to him this morning. He had a great time. Thanks to Victory for having us. Everyone come to Fergie's. You will get to see me completely lack all self-awareness or self-restraint. And I'm in need of some restraint, which is a line you will hear me sing on Saturday night at 10 p.m. at Fergie's and 6 p.m. at Fergie's on Sunday. Come out. I promise it'll be a great time. Get there early. It was a completely packed house last time we played there. So get there early. Chris, you're going to be there, right?
I'll be there. I think we're going to do some live streaming and we'll like talk Sixers draft.
And there's going to be Sixers reporters that are going to be there, and it's going to be fun. And I promise it'll be loud, it'll be fun, and you will have a good time. I might even get back up on the bar and sing from the bar again. We'll see. I think there's now a rule: no more tables, so no more table dancing for me. But yeah, big things at Painted Lines. We will next be at Summer League in a couple of weeks.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah. So, stay tuned. We got big things in store.
Hopefully by tomorrow. This is on Friday. Hopefully by Saturday tomorrow, we'll have like a good discussion about, some undrafted free agents. That would be fun.
Absolutely. I can't wait.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on, Jason.
Thank you.
Take it easy, man.
See you.